Hey guys, John and Jackie of OpenLove101.com. And if you listen to this show, you're going to find out about things that I don't like, my big red flags, including bullwhips. See you there. All right. Hey, everybody. It's John and Jackie of OpenLove101.com. Welcome to our show. You know, there's some of you out there that are maybe curious about getting into a consensually non-monogamous lifestyle model, swinger, open, whatever it is, and you're not exactly sure where to begin or how to make sure you're not going to come across some nefarious people out there that might have bad intentions. You know, where can you go? All these types of things. That's what we're going to talk about today.
Yep.
And
a little light conversation.
A little light conversation about how to get involved in this thing. But before we do, join Open Love 101 Plus. On there, we have this amazing Tuesday morning feature for our members. Open Love 101 Plus. Coffee with John and Jackie. And we have our co-hosts on there, Courtney. You're welcome to join us on there and ask questions. It's just a great 20-minute, half-hour session with us every Tuesday morning. So join Open Love 101 Plus, and we'll see you there. So now, where do you start? Where do you start if we get emails all the time from couples that say, we're thinking about getting in the lifestyle. Where do we begin?
Well, yeah, or how do we find people?
Yeah.
You know, that's the other thing. So like you've had this conversation, you both have decided like, yeah, this is the path we want to travel down. We want to be in this open relationship. You're both gung-ho, good to go. And then it's crickets. You can't figure out like what's the next step? How do we find these? Where are these other people?
If I have a hard time finding someone, I just pretend you're somebody else. I turn the lights off, put on a mask, and Jackie will change her voice. That's a true story.
That is a true story.
And vice versa. And I'm being serious though. You can fantasize beforehand and make sure it's your cup of tea. Because if you're role playing and you're uncomfortable with role playing and the things that are going through your mind, that may not be your thing to try, whatever that thing is. So.
Right. Yeah. If it bugs you that your partner is calling you by a different name, or, you know, that may be something you might want to double think.
And when you do see those things, well, that's where boundaries come in.
Right.
So you find something through your conversation or through your role playing that you're uncomfortable with. And so you may have to add that to your boundaries list.
Right.
And in doing so, it will make your play safer.
Right.
And more comfortable for the both of you.
Yeah.
that look.
No, you know, because here's the thing, you know, like when you and I are together, it's funny, I don't even think about certain things from the standpoint of boundaries. These are just things that I enjoy doing, and these are things that I don't enjoy doing. And I don't double think when I don't want to do something. You know, we just kind of maneuver around that, or I say, oh, I don't like that, or maybe not so much, I don't like this, but do this instead. Mm-hmm. Or, you know, oh yeah, that's the spot, or let's try this position, or, you know, let's try, you know, maybe we decide we want to try some spanking or something, but then I don't end up liking it. And so then that's like, just like you said, that's when we know that that's where our boundary is. I don't like that. I don't like this position, but I love this position, or I love when this is happening. And unbeknownst to me, that's what I'm doing. I'm setting boundaries. Mm-hmm. And so if we can understand that that's what we're doing when it comes time to play with other play partners, and we understand that that's what we've been doing, it can help us then when we are in playtime. But we got to be able to find those people. Yeah. So, you know, we have our boundaries set. We understand what that means. We understand that it's not so much about setting rules for other people and what they are and aren't allowed to do. It's about us setting those from a personal standpoint. This is what I enjoy and this is what I don't enjoy. And then making sure that the person that you're playing with understands what those things are. And it doesn't have to be a big, huge, like, I don't like that, and here's this big long list of things that you got to sign, and it's got to be notarized and witnessed by two people. It can just be something that's happening organic as you're going along with play, just like it does with your partner.
Yeah.
Right? But then, it's finding people. So let's say you go to a club, or, maybe you already have people in mind. Maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a single friend, or maybe it's another couple. And the four of you are all kind of embarking on this together. And so then you decide maybe you're going to, try out the playtime with each other.
Yes.
And so, that also can be a way of navigating kind of that safe space for play. Finding people that maybe you already trust or people that you already know, in order to, take it to the next step.
And everybody is different. There's going to be some people out there that are going to really want to be with someone they don't know. They want to be with a stranger because they're like, I don't want anyone to know I'm doing this.
Right.
And that may be their comfort zone. That may be their safe place.
That's exactly right.
And then you're going to have people that are going to be more along the lines of what you're saying. If you're already close to people, you have a friend. I've heard so many stories of people, their first experience with one of their good friends.
Yeah. And so then, that brings up a good point. If it is a good friend, you're going to feel comfortable maybe having them at your house or going to their house. But if it's somebody that you don't know, you may not be inclined to have them at your house, or go to their house.
Mm-hmm.
It may be in a club setting where there's a lot of other people and you're in a secure space. Or if you decide to play with someone else, it becomes a threesome where you and your partner, you and your partner meet up with the person. So, you kind of outnumber whatever's happening.
And so those are, absolutely, those are places you can play that could make you feel safe and comfortable. And
Mm-hmm.
other the clubs, hotel takeovers are good ones.
Takeovers.
You can, get on sites. First of all, you can find individual people or couples on sites like stc.com, Casti.com to play with on there. Now, it's more of a process there because you have to communicate online, set up a time for a date. It may just be an introductory date, like just coffee or dinner, or it may be you just go straight to play date.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, that depends on your comfortability in doing such things. But when you go to a place like if you can find these big events around the country, hotel takeovers, you go to one of those, now there's anywhere between 300 couples to 1,000 couples, maybe a cruise ship takeover, any of those types of things where you can have so many people there to choose from. And it's a safe place because it's really, even though it's private, it's public, a lot of people around. You don't have to feel like something bad could happen. I mean, it's always possible, but
right.
That's probably one of the safest places to go would be a hotel takeover or a cruise ship takeover.
Right.
Not only to meet people, but in terms of a place to play.
Yeah. And, again, you bring up another good point. Sometimes finding these people and going for coffee or going for dinner, that way you get a really good feel for who that couple is or
Mm-hmm.
who that other person is. Is this person understand the lifestyle, or is this somebody that's just hoping to get lucky, and maybe that doesn't matter to you. But that's a personal choice. That's, whatever agreement you and your partner have made in finding someone to play with. And a lot of single people come to our clubs as well. So
Mm-hmm.
that can be another safe space, especially if you're a single woman, you can come to the club and, there's staff and security and, everybody in there has met a certain criteria, and if there's a problem, you can go to someone and talk to them.
And that would be the
can a
same
great
with a
place.
hotel takeover or cruise
Same
ship
with-
too. So
exactly.
you're definitely gonna have people there that understand the lifestyle and what it means. And if there's an issue, the staff on any of those places will help you take care of whatever the problem is.
Right.
Are the people that you're hooking up with, are they in it for the right reasons? And that's something you probably wouldn't know unless you're going to have a conversation with them.
Right.
And so that would be a reason, how to screen people that may not be what you're looking for. And that can be important. So at any of these places, sitting down with them and having a drink or dancing and getting to know them a little bit better and find out where they're from and what they, how they got involved in the lifestyle, all those kind of questions, you can see if there's going to be that connection there that you made with that couple or that single person to see if you want to take it to the next step.
Right.
And how many times we talk about communication in our videos? I mean, once again, if you want to find out if you don't care what their reasons are, you just want to get laid, that's one thing.
Right.
But if you're concerned about that, only way to find out is through conversation. You cannot tell what someone's motive is for being at a club, party, wherever it is, or online trying to meet couples unless you talk about it.
Right.
Like, why are you into this? That's a simple question. Like, how did you get into the lifestyle? What made you decide to get with a couple?
Right.
What is it you like about being with a couple? Those kind of questions are really good to ask. And will they respect your boundaries? And that's the other thing. You really don't know until you start communicating with the person and getting a feel for them.
Right.
And you can really tell through conversation whether or not someone is going to not really care about your needs or not really care about what kind of rules you have in play. And that's important. It's important if you're going to get with someone new that you don't know in a threesome or as a couple to feel safe with them, respecting who you are as a person.
Right. And that respecting who you are as a person can vary from person to person.
Mm-hmm.
What might really bother me wouldn't bother you at all.
Right.
So it's important to keep that in mind as well. It's not maybe that somebody else is doing something wrong. It's just not something that you're comfortable with. They could do the very same thing with the very next person, and that person has no issue with it. So, when we talk about red flags to look out for, that's really it's a personal inventory that you have to take of what you're comfortable with. For me, some of my red flags would be, if I feel like you're like, oh, I know what to do to make you happy. Well, you don't even know who I am. How would you know what I mean? To me, that's a red flag immediately. Or, maybe they come on too strong. To me, that's a red flag. But for somebody else, that might be exactly what they want.
Yeah.
So it's just about what your comfort level is. It's not about getting upset with anybody or being mad or that somebody's doing something wrong. It's just it may not be the person that you need to be having playtime with, and that's okay because there's plenty of other people out there.
And sometimes red flags, even when we're dating, like when I was single and dating,
right,
I would go on a date and I would see these glaring red flags just through conversation about how they talk about other people.
Right.
If they're talking really negative about their family and their ex-boyfriend and this and that, I don't really like being around that negativity. So that's a red flag for me. Other people may not care.
Right.
For me, if I go out with someone and they're just like slamming down drink after drink after drink and they're starting to slur and spit when they're talking, red flag.
Right.
Probably not someone, I may hang out with them the one time, and probably not again after that. It just depends.
Right.
But when people tell you their stories, like when you go on a date with someone and they tell you about, and they give you the names of all the people they've slept with in the lifestyle.
Oh, yeah. Because then it means like, that means that my name's going to be in there.
Yeah,
too.
the next one after he's been with you, your name's going to pop up in the conversation. So that's a red flag for me if you care about those things.
Yeah.
And I do. I mean, I don't want someone talking about, our sex together and use my name in that conversation. So.
Right.
Another big red flag for me, if she walks in and she's wearing 8-inch stilettos and she has a whip strapped to her belt, like a bullwhip.
Yeah.
That's a red flag because I'm not really into getting whipped by bullwhips.
Yeah. Well, everybody has their limit.
Yes. Or a paddle. Or maybe she has a dildo, in her bag, a strap on or something like that. I mean, if that's not your thing, that's a red flag.
Yeah. That's
Anything
a lot
else?
Of information.
It is, yes. Well, I'm not saying because I'll try anything.
Yeah, well, no, you will.
Probably not bullwhip.
Which is why those are now red flags.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we hope you got something out of our program today. If you have any questions, you can email us at Jackie@openlove101.com. If you have questions for me, it's John@openlove101.com. You can sign up for our email list at openlove101.com, and we'll update you on upcoming YouTube videos and podcasts. Thanks for joining our show today.
See ya.
Dang, I learned a lot from that video. Subscribe, and you can learn a lot more.